Was his Trade Minister, Damien O'Connor, right or wrong when he said, quote, "We probably don't have enough tax in this country"?
Mr Speaker, the member's taking the minister's quote out of the full context in which it was made.
Was former tax lecturer Deborah Russell right or wrong when she said removing interest deductibility from rental properties was, quote, "a bad idea", and that, quote, "plenty of residential property investors would simply increase rents"?
Mr Speaker, the government's policy position on this is very clear, and I think Deborah Russell is making a significant contribution in the tax area.
Can he confirm that since the government increased the cost of owning a rental property by removing interest deductibility, average weekly rents have increased by $75, just as Deborah Russell predicted?
Mr Speaker, I note that there's been a significant spike in inflation during that period.
How much better or worse off would a typical low-income renter be if they saved $2 a week on fruit and vegetables but were paying an extra $75 a week in rent?
Mr Speaker, the government is doing a number of things to support low-income New Zealanders. Bringing inflation down is also one of the good things that we can do to support them.
Has he received advice about the number of IRD officials and lawyers that would be required to determine whether a mixed bag of salad or a vacuum-sealed beetroot count as processed or fresh?
No.
Was Finance Minister Grant Robertson right or wrong when he said that cutting GST on some items will, quote, "mostly benefit supermarkets"?
Mr Speaker, the member himself has confessed having a road to Damascus conversion. Mr Speaker, the policy that the Labour Party has announced, of course, will be implemented after the election.
Was the government's tax working group, led by Sir Michael Cullen, right or wrong when they reported that evidence from 17 countries over 14 years found that only 30% of the benefits of GST exemptions were actually passed on to consumers?
Mr Speaker, I will allow everybody to make their own judgments on the tax working group's report.
Are there any members left in his cabinet who actually support his tax policies? Or are they just waiting until the election so they can dump him in his desperate economic band-aid politics?
Well, Mr Speaker, at least I have a clear tax policy.